What's up everybody, it's Seth from Fowler Customs, and today I'm counting down my top 10 Ultra Boost Colorways of 2016. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. But with all that being said, let's get into it. As I'm sure you all know if you've been a long-time subscriber, Ultra Boosts are my favorite Adidas silhouette, possibly favorite shoe in general. But the best thing about the Ultra Boost is that not only is it insanely comfortable, it's also got these really great colorways that drop pretty regularly. And this year alone, there's been a ton of great collaborations and a ton of great colorways, so I figured now would be the best time to do the top 10 Ultra Boost colorways of 2016. So without any further ado, let's get started on the list with the honorable mention. I'm sure this is many people's favorite colorway of the Ultra Boost. It's one of my top favorites, but the reason the shoe isn't on the list is because it dropped right at the end of 2015, and I almost put it on the list just because there was a ton of restocks, but because it originally dropped in 2015, it didn't quite make the cut. So here it is, the Cream Ultra Boost 1.0. So this shoe started as a friends and family colorway, which we never actually expected to release to the public. But of course, when it did, it sold out instantly and it was really tough to get. I was lucky enough to grab a pair on the restock, which I ended up selling, which is one of my biggest regrets of 2016. I'm glad that one of my main regrets of 2016 is just selling a shoe that I didn't want to sell, rather than anything insane like killing somebody or something of that nature. But yeah, it's a really great colorway. It's super clean. I love the way it looks. However, now the resale is a little bit up there. It's like 400, 500 bucks, and that's not something I'm willing to pay for a pair of Ultra Boost that I've already owned. So I'm gonna have to let this one go. Coming in at number 10 on the list, it's the Ultra Boost Uncaged in the original black colorway. I know the Ultra Boost Uncaged originally dropped in 3 colorways, but I wanted to put the most popular up on the list just because the Uncaged was such a different shoe and such a popular silhouette that it really needed to be on the list. Personally, I prefer the gray pair, which is the pair that I have, but the black pair is nice too. I just wasn't a huge fan of the black sock liner around the top of the shoe. It was a slightly different shade of grayish black than the rest of the shoes, so it didn't really match in my opinion, but it was the most popular of the colorways, so that's why it's on the list. Coming in at number 9, it's the Sneakers and Stuff Ultra Boost. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th collaboration to come out on the Ultra Boost, and it's a really clean looking shoe. I really dig the black and white accents. I think it looks really nice. However, I kind of wish it was a bit more muted. Plus, I love Sneakers and Stuff. They're a really great retailer, and their shipping to the US it's crazy fast. Coming in at number 8, it's another collaboration. It's the High Snobiety Ultra Boost. This is a really clean colorway. It reminds me a lot of the Mystery Gray Ultra Boost colorway, and that's the reason this is on the list and the Mystery Gray isn't. I really love the shade of gray they used on this shoe. It's a really nice look. But my favorite part of the shoe is, of course, that leather cage that they used. I think it's leather. I'm not totally sure. But whatever material the cage is, it looks really great. It wears really nicely, and it adds a lot to the silhouette. Coming in at number 7, it's the Ultra Boost 3.0 in the triple white colorway. Now, of course, there have been a lot of triple white Ultra Boosts, the first being the most popular, but of course it didn't come out in 2016. The shoe, of course, was thrown into the spotlight because Kanye was seen wearing it, which means that everyone wanted it. And my reasoning for putting the 3.0s on the list rather than the 2.0s is because I personally like the 3.0s a lot better. My problem with the 2.0s is that when you make a triple white shoe, it kind of should be triple white. It shouldn't have this gray outline running around the toe box because then it's not a totally white shoe, and that line kind of bummed me out and made me not like the shoe as much as I could have. Whereas the 3.0, even though it wasn't totally white, the pattern actually blended in with the shoe a lot better, so it looked like a cleaner shoe overall. And I really love that translucent milky cage that they put on it. I think that's great. Coming in at number 6 on the countdown is the Gold Medal Ultra Boost that came out in the Olympic pack this summer. Out of the 3 colorways, the Gold Medal was most people's favorite, and that's because not only did it have the gold heel counter, but it also had this leather cage, which tied into the shoe really nicely. It gave the shoe a more premium look, which was really nice, and if they had done that to the other shoes in the pack, it might have made them a little bit more desirable. I had the silver medal pair for a while, and I ended up getting rid of it because it looked a lot like the 3M 2.0s that I had just recently gotten, and also I really didn't like that a lot of the material was woven in with this like really shiny, sparkly silver. It made the shoe a little too flashy for me, and so that's why I didn't love it. Whereas the gold pair overall was more muted, but it had this little pop of color on the heel counter. I guess it was more of a big pop of color, and it was also pretty flashy as well, but it wasn't as flashy as a silver medal, so that's why I liked it more. But to be honest, that leather cage is really what brought that shoe up to number 6 on my list. Coming in at number 5, it's a pair of shoes that I really didn't think was gonna make the list because I didn't think it was gonna release in 2016, but it just released yesterday, so it made the list. It's the Chinese New Year Ultra Boost 3.0s. I wanted this shoe so bad, And not only did it sell out online in seconds, they released it at the Adidas Soho store on Broadway Lafayette, and as soon as I saw the tweet, I got up from work, ran to the store. It was about a 10-minute run or walk or whatever it was, but I still got there too late and everything was gone. So I'm really salty about that. But I think it's an awesome shoe. I think the colorway is insane. I love it. And hopefully with restocks, I'll eventually be able to get a pair for retail. But I'm not holding my breath because the other Chinese New Year pairs released once and that was kind of it. So we'll see what happens, but that's number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4, it's the Solebox Ultra Boost. This is by far one of the best collaborations that Adidas has done on the Ultra Boost. The shoe itself is gorgeous. It came out pretty early in the year and it was super limited, so actually being able to see a pair in person was kind of difficult, but I work near Stadium Goods, so I stop by there all the time. A little too much actually, and that's always a pair that I pick up and check out, and it's just gorgeous. It's got that orange sole, it's got the Uncaged look. That's a great shoe. Oh, I'm still recording. I completely forgot that I was recording. I just wasted like 5 minutes. What the hell? Coming in at number 3 on the countdown is the Triple Black Ultra Boost 1.0s. I've talked about this shoe a lot on my channel. It's one of my favorite Ultra Boosts that have come out to date, obviously because it's number 3 on the list. But as I've said in the past, it was one of those shoes that they teased us with almost a year ago, or over a year ago now, and we just never thought it was going to drop. And of course last month it dropped in pretty limited numbers, so it was pretty tough to get, and the resale on it's like $300, $350 right now, so it's a pretty pricey shoe. But I love the fact that Adidas made a truly all black Ultra Boost with blacked out boost. All the fibers in the prime knit were black, so there wasn't any subtle color variations like there are in the triple whites. It was just a great, clean overall silhouette. And let me tell you, I'm pumped for the Ultra Boost 3.0 Triple Black colorway. When that drops, I'm gonna grab 2 pairs because it's clean. Coming in at number 2, it's one of my favorite Ultra Boosts of all time, and it's right here next to me. It's the reigning champ Ultra Boost collaboration. This is by far one of the cleanest shoes ever made, in my opinion. A lot of you guys aren't gonna agree with me on that, and I'm sure in the next couple years I'll have some other shoes that I like more, but right now, as of the end of 2016, this is one of my favorite shoes of all time. It's just such a simple, unassuming looking shoe, and yet it's got so much going for it. It's crazy comfortable, just like all the other shoes on the list. The colorway is really simple, but kind of crazy all at the same time. It's black and white and gray, but it's in this sort of mixed up, random prime knit pattern, and I think it looks sick. The prime knit on the toe box is a little bit different than it is on other Ultra Boosts, and I really like how they're not only willing to experiment with the colorways, but also with the materials. This is a great shoe, and you guys are probably sick of me saying this, but whew. And finally coming in at number 1, I'm sure you guys already know what it is because it wasn't on the list. It's a shoe that I never expected to get, let alone for retail. And that's also another reason why I left it off my top pickups of 2016, because it was the day before it came out that I recorded the video, and I just didn't think I was gonna grab it, so I didn't put it on the list. But with all that aside, my number 1 Ultra Boost colorway of 2016 is the Kith Ultra Boost Mid. This shoe is like next level. This shoe is crazy. Now I know a lot of you guys really love this shoe, but there are still a select few group of people who just hate it, and I'm assuming the reason for that is this sort of crazy, like almost Bill Cosby sweater colorway. And to be fair, this isn't my favorite mix of colors, and if I had to pick a shoe to rock every day, it probably wouldn't be this guy. But the reason I put this as number 1 on the list is because even though this is an Ultra Boost, this is such a crazy departure from what the Ultra Boost normally is, and it's such a different silhouette that, I mean, how could it not be number 1 on the list? I would even go so far as to say that this is probably the most comfortable Ultra Boost that's ever come out once you get your foot inside the shoe, because this collar, man, this collar is a bummer to get on your foot. I just really love how loud this shoe is, how crazy it is, and I really love the attention to detail on this shoe. Every part of it's designed and considered. There's not a single piece that seems out of place. I mean, even the Ultra Boost text on the heel counter, it's like a semi-gloss, and then the actual heel counter is matte, and it just creates this crazy silhouette that, I mean, you really can't take your eyes off of. Even if you hate the shoe, because this shoe is kind of polarizing, you have to admit that this shoe is very different than anything we've seen from Ultra Boost and Adidas so far. I mean, it's dope. Ronnie Feig and Adidas really knocked this shoe out of the park. It's awesome. That pretty much wraps up the video today, guys. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know what your favorite Ultra Boost colorway of 2016 was. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to Fowler Customs if you want to see more content just like this, and follow Fowler Customs in all other forms of social media.